Hi, this is my review of The Dungeon Under the Mountain, Level 1 by 01 Games. I will be reviewing all of the levels of The Dungeon Under the Mountain, so expect a lot of The Dungeon Under the Mountain material in the near future. This is a massive mega dungeon, and with this level 1, we get a really good idea of the general architecture of the entire dungeon complex. Now let's talk about the quality of the PDF. I am incredibly impressed with the quality. This is expected of 01 Games, but well, let's get the tiny little negative out of the way. I only saw a single typo in the entire thing because there is also text, but the quality is pretty amazing. You have bookmarks that take you anywhere you want to go. You have a set of small sections that you can click on and go to that particular section of level 1, because this is a really big level. And you also have a clickable here button that will take you to the entire poster map. So these navigation features are just incredible. If you want to run this, you could run this with very little preparation. You just need some creatures, some monsters, some traps, puzzles, etc. to place in the different rooms, and it will be quite easy for you to get straight to the room that your players are exploring or the corridor that they are walking through. Of course, these maps can be printed, but if you are someone who rather uses maps for a general description and you are playing more on the theater of the mind side of things, I think you are going to love this dungeon if you want to use it just for general descriptions. But let's take this moment to talk about those who want to print this dungeon. The entire thing measures 22 by 34 inches. And this same map is divided in 8 US letter sheets. So you could print the entire thing, or you could print it by sheets and just tape the different sections together. And you can even scale different rooms and corridors because this entire map is completely vector based. So you could have each section as sort of like a battle map for miniatures, and you will not suffer anything when it comes to the resolution. And when it comes to the Rule the Dungeon button, this is the typical and very useful dungeon button that comes in all of 01 Games products, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to remove the numbers of the different sections of the map or the furniture, you could also remove the grid or the teleport areas or the water. You can also remove the colors from the main areas and the secondary areas. You can also remove the feel of the dungeon walls, which is going to be quite useful if you like to make different notes and place some marks or icons related to the progress of the party of adventurers. Maybe you want to mark, oh, they already went into this room, and you put a little X mark or something, or a number or a letter in that area without the fill. That's going to be quite useful. And you can also toggle the white and yellow color of the entire map, or you could remove everything if you want to. So, as expected, the Rule the Dungeon button makes everything quite customizable. If you do not like any feature of the entire level 1, you can use the Rule the Dungeon button to modify that in different ways, and you can get a bit more use or replayability out of this map. You also have a legend showing you the different icons used to represent doors and secret doors and trap doors and such. Now let's take a look at some of the characteristics of this level 1. I like it that even though this level is usually used as the entrance or pathway into the mega dungeon, because many mega dungeons have the level 1 as the entrance, of course, but there are also other mega dungeons that you enter them through a middle dungeon, maybe level 6 or 5, and then you decide to go up or down. It depends on the game, on the campaign setting, on the story behind that mega dungeon. But here with the Dungeon Under the Mountain, you do not have a set story telling you this is what happens in this dungeon, or this non-player character created this dungeon and it's populated by these things. It's quite easy for you to take it and adapt it to any campaign world, any campaign setting. So with this level 1, you already see that they are introducing some very mysterious features. You already have some teleport rooms or areas. It's not that common in the first levels of dungeons in role-playing games, that is in tabletop role-playing games or in video game RPGs. You do not always have all of these features with teleports or certain rooms that feel more ceremonial or magical. But this level 1 immediately gets you into the mysteries of the Dungeon Under the Mountain. Even though there is no story, you can already tell that there are many dangers. There are some labyrinthine passageways, different areas that you do not know the purpose of those rooms, with pillars and statues and secret walkways and tunnels. There are also some fairly large areas, although I wouldn't consider those the defining features of level 1. There are also some places of level 1 that feel worked, that maybe some dwarven architects, or perhaps even Drow, who knows, maybe they managed to build some of these tunnels. It depends on how that particular fantasy race is represented in any role-playing game, but some of these tunnels connect with some natural-looking caverns, so you can see that there are still some places untouched by the mysterious workers and architect of the Dungeon Under the Mountain. There are some places that feel that they were shaped by perhaps water or lava or some strange magical force even. I like how there are some areas that have some mysterious purpose to them when it comes to their functionality. You would say, why are there so many teleporters in sequence? Or why did someone place all of those pit traps in that narrow corridor? Was it just to trick adventurers, or was it for some other purpose that you have yet to discover? Remember to check for secret doors when you fall in a pit trap, this classic dungeon trope. And then there are some other places that just feel like a hub for the entire level 1. So I like it that there is still some sort of logic or method that could direct the player characters to some major purpose of the Dungeon Under the Mountain. And this is just talking about level 1. So what do I think of the level 1 for the Dungeon Under the Mountain? It's excellent, it's amazing, you can use it in any adventure and campaign that you like, and it has a distinct flavor. I have already seen a bit of the other levels and they all feel quite unique. So this level 1 serves as a perfect introduction to the Dungeon Under the Mountain. I also like it, as I was telling you, that they didn't pull any punches, they didn't pull like very simple looking doors where you would find only like giant rats and perhaps some spiders and rooms devoid of major features of the dungeon. You can already tell that there is something pretty big, perhaps some nefarious plot for world domination, or perhaps hiding some eldritch mysteries and perhaps pointing out some darker, more sinister threat. I'm sure you will find it quite entertaining as a game master or dungeon master to fill these different rooms with gold or fool's gold, traps, puzzles, and dangerous enemies, and perhaps one or two unusual allies, who knows. I also recommend that you check out the Dungeon Under the Mountain Rooms and Encounters PDFs, as they present different options and suggestions on how you can use the different rooms and corridors of the different levels of Dungeon Under the Mountain. So definitely get this map if you want something for your next adventure or to build upon for an entire campaign. Even if you weren't going to get all of the other levels of the Dungeon Under the Mountain, this level 1 is already giving you a firm base over or under which you can build the rest of the dungeon complex. Well, thanks for watching my review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. See you later.